Kelly Dixon here with Canadian PGA TV, and I'm here with Jeff Dykeman. Jeff, we've got some exciting news that we want to announce today.
Yeah, Kelly, huge news for the Canadian PGA and really for the World PGA Alliance. We're the first PGA in the world, as of today, to have their own national rankings system and national rankings list. So we spent about 3 months compiling a list of over 450 members of the Canadian PGA that have points. We've gone back almost 3 years now to get all these points from zone championships and national championships. But a huge day. We're the first PGA, like I said, to have their own system, and it's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, that's great. And how did we develop this, and who do we work with? And tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, for sure. We have a deal with Computan, which is a very well-known partner in the sports database world. They've done the work with Tennis Canada, Squash Canada, some provincial associations, as well as Michigan Wolverines and Princeton University as well. So they work with us. It's a 3-year scale, I guess you could say, that points kind of flush in and flush out, and we believe it's the best for our professionals, the way their schedules work and the way their working schedules work as well. So kind of a hybrid of Golf Canada, Future Links, World Golf Ranks as well, and it's easy to understand, which is great, and easy to get points if you play well and you play often.
That's great. Well, we have a top 10 list. Let's go through that.
For sure.
We've got 4 people tied for 8th position. We've got Billy Houle, Ben Boudreau, Marc Giroir, and Chris Barber. In 7th position, we have Kyle German, Brett Burgesson, Dean North, and in 4th, Ken Tarling. Great bunch of guys here. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, you know what? A great collection of players. I mean, looking at the results that we have, which can be viewed on our website once we get this all launched, but they all have very high point totals, obviously, in certain events, certain categories, and they're all great players. I mean, they've all either won national championships or been in the hunt every single year. So, in every corner of the country is almost represented there. They have 3 guys from Quebec. We've got a guy from Ontario, a guy from Manitoba, a guy from Alberta. So kind of a neat collection of players for sure, and guys that totally could be in the top 3, and if they play well enough, they sure will be for sure. So,
well, let's get to that top 3. In 3rd position, we've got Danny King. Tell us a little bit about Danny.
Yeah, Danny, he's a head teaching pro at Magna in Toronto, a high-end facility, and Danny's a big teacher and obviously a big player, and a guy that for sure, if you ask certain people who do you think is the number 1 player in the country, you for sure would get people saying Danny King. I mean, a 2-time Club Pro champion of ours, played in the Canadian Open because of that as well, and Danny is a guy he's trying to get better all the time. I mean, it's funny, almost when you see certain players of his caliber that try and get better all the time as opposed to just trying to stay where they are, it shows the commitment that he has to getting better and playing better golf. So Danny's going to be pumped when he finds out that he's number 3 in the country, but you can guarantee he wants to be number 1 for sure. So next couple of years, you'll see Danny going for it pretty hard.
Well, that's good. Number 2 position, we've got Dave Levesque. Tell us about Dave.
Yeah, Dave, a Quebec native, but originally, and he was playing in Ontario last couple of years. And Ontario just had an unbelievable run this year. He won a major zone event in Quebec that allowed other zone members to play. He won the Ontario PGA Assistants Championship. He's finished, I believe, second, third in our assistant championship, the national championship. So, a great player, a guy whose golf game is pretty tight. I mean, a kind of guy that makes pretty much 0 mistakes. He makes a ton of birdies, and he's right there, number 2, and he should be. I mean, like I said earlier about Danny King, a guy who would get votes for sure, or would get some recognition of somebody who, if you ask them who do you think is number 1, he'd be up there for sure. But he's chasing number 1 right now, and if he can play well enough, he may catch them. But number 1, who you're going to announce shortly, is not going to let it happen too easily.
Well, let's get to that. Number 1, often considered the number 1 player, and now can officially say, as part of the Canadian PGA rankings, that he is number 1. It's Bryn Perry. Yeah,
Bryn Perry from North Vancouver. Again, a big teacher. I was following him on Twitter recently, and he's talking about playing with some kids and trying to help them get better. And he played with a junior girl and junior guy, and he said, they shot 71, 72 from the back tees. This is awesome stuff. So a guy who's really a big advocate for junior golf, but. We called him last week and let him know what was going on. I had to get some quotes media-wise from him, and he just said, Jeff, this is the coolest thing I've heard as a member of the PGA in 15 years. I've worked so hard on my golf game. It feels so good to be number 1. Bryn is really outside the top 10 in our assistant championship and national championship. He's finished, I think, second, and 10th in the last 3 years. He's also won it twice. That doesn't even count because it was too long ago for the points, but he's compiled some significant results. I believe it was 08. He shot 27 or 28 in the back 9 at one of the national championships. So a guy who just plays unbelievable golf, totally deserves it. We're happy for him. But he said, I'm so proud to be number 1, and I to make sure I stay number one for a while. So anybody who's trying to chase him, Bryn's going to go for it pretty hard. Like all these guys will go for it, but he's going to make sure he's there as long as he can be there for, and it's going to be fun to watch for sure.
Well, it sounds like our upcoming tournaments are going to be really exciting. Everybody chasing each other, like lots of excitement here.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's going to be fun. It's media-wise, members-wise, their own members of their or their clients, employers. I mean, you name it. I think we're going to be shocked at how much press we get on this. I think, I've talked to some of our marketing partners, manufacturers that said they want to make sure they cover some of their people that are playing their product, playing their ball, playing their driver. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And for Adam LeBrun, who's our tournament manager, for what he's trying to do with the events, making it bigger and better. That now we'll know going to the final round if this person wins, this person finishes seconds, the points are all going to change. So it's going to be so much fun for all the players and members to watch, because it's going to change. And like I said earlier, if you play well and you play often, you're going to move up the rankings in a hurry. So.
Well, it sounds like a great piece of news and something I'm sure our members are really looking forward to see. And speaking of members, everybody can go to www.cpga.com to check out our top 100 list and see where you're at. Thanks a lot, Jeff, for giving us this news today.
Thank you.